I've got to manage myself, I've got to manage my mind. The task is not easy, but to higher heights I climb.
I'm determined to succeed, so no excuses, please. If you don't want success in life, then don't hinder me.
I'm a CEO.
everyone. I'm Michael E. Parker, and it is July 29th, and this is the show that we promised you, Together Again. And I'm going to be talking with some wonderful people on this show. And as always, I want to remind you, make sure you subscribe to YouTube if you haven't already to get notifications for our show. And make sure you join our Facebook group if you haven't already. But again, this is a reminder, tonight is the night, July 29th, the show we've been talking about, Together Again, with a good friend of mine, David Feinstein, and another special guest, a few other special guests that I'm going to surprise you with here tonight. So this is going to be a fantastic show. So sit back, be able to stay close to the screen there, because there's going to be some wonderful information and some great synergies you'll hear about here tonight. I'm going to show you a quick clip, and when I come back, we're going to jump right in, and we're going to hear from a good friend of mine that you haven't seen in a while. We'll see you in a minute.
We are starting a movement called You Are a CEO. You are a CEO. You run the business of you, and you can go as far as you want to go. Be the CEO of your future. Be the CEO of your destiny. Be the CEO of your career. Be the CEO of being an entrepreneur.
As of today, my past does not matter. I am officially stepping into my new position. I am powerful. I know what I have to do. I am smart. I am able. I refuse to look back. Anything that ever hurt me has now become my fuel. I will make no excuses. I am now a high achiever. I am now an executive. I am the CEO of me. Hello, everyone. As promised, we are back here live in studio, and I have my good friend, David Feinstein. I just got to shake your hand, David.
Yes, Michael. Thank you. So good to see you again.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that you could be here in the studio, and I just got to give just a little background. We're going to have to do this together, because I know some of you out there are wondering, who know David and know some of the things we've done in the past in the URCO network. You're wondering what is going on right now. But, David, I called you about a year ago, and I told you that I had something going on. URCO was about to explode. We were working on some new technologies, new models, and you know, at the time we were still trying to figure some things out. And then, you know, a year later, there's a reconnection that started to take place. But before we get to that full connection, what happened in the last year for you that brings us up to where we are now?
Oh my gosh, Michael, where do I start? So I remember that day a year ago. It was about 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So for you to reach out at 6 in the morning, I'm like, yeah, he's excited about something.
Absolutely.
And I hadn't heard from you probably for about a year before that, I think, right?
That's right.
So you didn't even know that I'd relocated to Southern California.
No.
So my daughter finished college. She decided she wanted to stay in Europe. She got a great job in Germany. I'm like, she moved all the way to Germany. Maybe I'm ready for a change. Yeah. If she did it, maybe I could do it.
Right.
So I moved down to the beach. I always wanted to live by the beach. I'm in Newport Beach.
Nice.
And was taking it easy. I was, you know, walking the beach actually every day, 6 miles. I know doesn't show it. I still have to lose some weight, but it was beautiful. And you called, and I'm like, this sounds great, but you know, right now I'm trying to figure out what's next.
Right.
So. Did a few months of, I kind of like this retired life, right? What do I want to do, you know? But early this year, we had a tragedy. A very close friend of mine from up here in the Bay Area, her son took his life.
Oh my God.
And it touched me deeply, 21 years old. And a few months after the passing, my friend called me and said, there is a walk in San Francisco. And I said, whatever it is, I'll be there. Not really knowing it was 16 miles through the hills of San Francisco in the middle of the night.
Oh my God.
But I didn't care. So I drove all the way up, and we did the walk, and it's called Out of Darkness. Before the walk started, there were, thousands of people there. It started on the waterfront in San Francisco, but on stage, there were so many people just talking about suicide and troubles and problems and all of that. And then we walked through the streets, and everybody had shirts on with people who were touched by somebody's life.
So this is like a suicide prevention event.
Correct. Huge. Right. It's all the time, one or two big walks a year in a chosen city in the United States.
Okay.
This year happened to be here, but they also have regional events everywhere, because this is a topic people don't talk about enough. So I'm like, okay, I'm driving back south, and I'm like, okay, God, what do I do? I got to do something. I'm not ready for retirement. Right. So many people need help.
Right.
one thing I know about me is I got to work with people I love and respect.
Right.
I called a very close friend of mine, CEO of Javita Coffee. That's where we first met.
Yeah.
Stan Charlstein. I'm like, Stan, good to talk to you. What's going on? He's like, company's going to be brand new. I'm like, what? Company's going to be brand new. We're rebranding. Dollar Coffee Company, got to hear about it. I heard all about it, and I'm like, oh, wow, they're getting away from the push.
So this is
really,
Javita rebranding itself.
Rebranding, exactly.
Wow, okay.
And talking about, we got to get this product out, because I know when we were in your community, you know, and so many thousands of people were having amazing health benefits.
Sure.
And I felt good about that. So now we got a company just about the product, not about the push of, you know, you got to do this and that, all of that. Because my push days are over. I want to be just excited about helping people.
Sure.
So helping people with their health. Great, okay, I'm going to think about this for a couple days. That's what I told him. I get home and I'm scrolling Facebook, and there's Michael Parker. And he's doing a Facebook Live about URCO, and I'm like, oh, he called me a year ago about this, and oh my gosh, and I wrote him immediately, Michael, we got to talk.
Yeah, I remember
And I
that,
think you picked up the phone that minute and called me back. I'm like, you're there, huh? Tell me about it.
Right.
And I know I've been, you know, I've known a little bit about it, but he said, download the app, do that. I started looking through, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is my whole life. Taking classes, taking courses, doing this, doing that, to try to figure out how to be the CEO of my own life, how to be in charge of my own business.
Right.
And this is what I'd want to help others with.
Right. That is such a powerful journey, David, and I know things happen for a reason. And you know, one thing I've always respected about you is that you've always been a person that's been a straight shooter, very transparent, very authentic. And I think sometimes when you talk to people, whatever you're doing, people want to listen, and like, you know, this guy is real about whatever he feels or whatever he's passionate about. And you know, when I heard some of that, and just so some of you know out there, you know, when you contacted me right away, I wanted to talk to Stan and reconnect with him, because, you know, we talked some time ago when we were doing things in the coffee business, and I wanted to hear from him myself. You told me all this good stuff. I wanted to hear from him. And one thing I like about Stan is he really is serious about what he's doing. He wants to help a lot of people. We had a really good conversation. You were on the call, and I have a lot of respect for him as a business person, as well as him really committed to seeing people's life better through health and through some of the technology that's in the coffee and the products that he's working on. And so after that call, and really starting to see, wow, Javita has changed, rebranded. They've got a new model that's not all complicated, very simple, more affordable, and a lot of those same health benefits are there. And then URCO is new and improved and starting this whole new movement. And so it looked like such a synergy. Tell me what you started to see when you thought about all this coming together. And I know right now you're at a certain place in your life. What is it that made you feel inspired about, I've got to get involved with these two things?
Well, the first thing I said to Stan was, if I come back, I'm doing other things, and I don't know what they are.
Right.
But somehow, you know, I just don't know, but I want to be open to that. And I said the same thing to you.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it started coming together, like, wow, health, helping people with their health.
Right.
Helping people with their personal development, becoming, you know, in charge of their own life, which starts with, a lot of times, with their health. Then I go, okay, it's called the Dollar Coffee Club. It's $1 a day. Then I hear your slogan, is your life worth $1, I'm sorry, $1 a cup, back to the coffee.
Right.
And here we're $1 a day for your life.
Right.
I mean, hello. This just all came
Lightning
together,
bolt, huh?
lightning bolt, and I'm like, whoa, I can promote. It's not even promoting, I can embody these two movements, because that's what they are. It's a movement.
Yeah.
So I want to start a movement to really, truly help people change their lives and come together to really change the environment.
And David, I think what you're saying is just, my heart is beating hearing you say that, because at the end of the day, there's all these business models and all these structures, but at the end of the day, we're people, and we want to see people's lives made better. And what I'm excited about is to see that, you know, there's still these great products that help people with their health, and we promote being the CEO of your health. And then even going back to what you were talking about with suicide prevention and the things that are going on in the world in terms of people's thinking and just all these things, URCO is such an inspiration. And even the Uplift app that we talk about, you know, keeping people's mind in the right place. And even the people who are trying to take advantage of their health, having your mind and health in the right place is so critical. And so we really want to announce to everyone listening at this, no matter what network you're in, that you and I are recommitting to each other to really get back out in the world and change lives. Sure, there's some people going to make some money along the way, but what's most critical is we're going to change some lives, David. And I'm committed, and I feel you are too.
I am committed, and I'm never been more excited in my life.
Oh, I love to hear that, David. Well, let me just ask you this: is there any final thoughts that you want to say to anyone that might see this? There are people, and you are a CEO now, that haven't seen you in a while. There's some that never have seen you. Then there's people out in the coffee network who have a lot of respect for you. I mean, you've done great things as a businessman, as an entrepreneur. What do you want to say just about everything that's going on right now? You know, share some of your thoughts.
First of all, you know, looking back, 2008, 9, 10, which are many of us who are watching this, were hurt badly.
Oh, my goodness.
I was hurt badly.
It's
the best thing that happened in my life, though.
Yeah.
I never would have met you. I never would have met Stan Charleston. I never would have had to reinvent my life. And this is all about taking charge of our lives and reinventing it. It might have taken 1, 2, 3, 10 times. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But we are all here to, you know, have a better life for ourselves and then be examples for others.
Right.
So I'm so excited about this movement. Everybody in every area of their lives needs to become the CEO of their own life, or guess what? The same stuff happens over and over and over until we take charge.
That's it.
So this is good for everybody, you know, and the coffee, I mean, whoever it's right for.
Right.
I will never push anything again.
Right.
I will only be an example and excited about, you know, what I believe we all need. So
Perfectly
I'm excited.
said, David. Perfectly said. And when you're thinking about 2008, 2009, I think there was a statement made one time: is only when it's dark enough can you see the stars. And so sometimes through those things, a lot of things shine forth. And I love what you said about reinvention, because you introduced me to someone, and I got a special, this is one of my surprise guests. When we come back, you're gonna meet them, but you introduced me to someone that is just, I mean, completely focused on seeing people's life reinvented. And I want to thank you for that. And we're going to have her on the next segment. But David, it's so good to be with you again. And I'm looking forward to all that we'll do together.
Me too, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, there you have it. As promised, I told you David Feinstein would be here, and now you know why. And there's much more to come. And you all in the URCO network that's interested to find out what's going on in these new opportunities with helping people with their health and maybe even earning a little bit, stay tuned. I'm going to be talking to you about how URCO is going to be involved. And those of you out there that's out there taking control of your health through the coffee, we want to invite you to the URCO. Is a great network, and we're going to be there for you as well. So this is, again, a wonderful kickoff to this show. We're going to have a short clip, and when we come back, I want to introduce you to someone who has become a great friend. We're going to talk about how reinvention is not so far away for any of us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Uplift, your gamified mind fitness app for creating good habits and maintaining a healthy mindset. Your home feed is where you'll go to find refreshing posts. From here, you can high-five and compliment Mints. It's our way of acknowledging you for uplifting the community. To customize your feed, simply join showrooms or follow inspiring members. Discover new and trending showrooms in your favorite categories by going to the Discover tab. You can also use the search bar to look for showrooms, people, and mints too. You can even create your own showrooms for whatever topic you're passionate about. When we constantly view uplifting content and post inspiring mints, we train our brain to focus on positive thoughts and mute out the negative ones. Let's try it. This was a great moment. Let's mint it. Now, let's pick a mint type. This is an excitement to me. Let's pick that one. You can add your mint to a specific showroom by selecting it here or using the show tag. Let's tag Workout with Me and My Fitness Journey. Perfect. Let's mint it. If you happen to see a mint that's inappropriate or doesn't fit our positive culture, you can flag it as inappropriate here to remove from your feed. Once a mint has been flagged 3 times by our community, it will be permanently removed. Uplift even gives you a gamified experience to motivate you along the way, and your profile is where it all comes together. You can find out how much you uplift others by looking at your uplift score, or track your consistency with your mint streak and complete levels and stages each time you conquer a goal. Our days are more fulfilling when we feel good and when our minds are healthy. So refresh yourself by getting on the inside and see how success comes easy when you're living uplifted.
Hello, everyone. As promised, we're back in studio, and I want to introduce you to someone. This is Miss Pamela Chanel David. Now, I said that right.
You did.
All right. Well, this is Pamela Chanel David, and I met her through David, and she has a powerful story that I want to let her tell. And there's some other things I want to talk about. You got a book going on. You got a lot of lives you're impact. It's so much to talk about. But can you introduce yourself a little bit to the URCL community and just start off talking about some of the transformative things that you went through that really kind of awaken some of the things you're doing now?
Yes. Well, first of all, I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
You know, my story actually begins years ago, but I actually had a very critical medical appointment. I was morbidly obese, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, high sugars. I was actually told I may not make it to my next annual exam.
Wow.
That's how serious things had gotten. And of course, you know, you don't get that way overnight. I'm 5 feet tall. And I weighed over 300 pounds.
Wow.
And you do not get that way overnight. It's something that progressive happens. Today, as I stand here, I've lost over 160 of those pounds.
Wow, congratulations.
And it's interesting because it's actually what I've gained in the process that's actually served as the momentum for my life.
So you almost, you lost weight but gained something even more.
Yes. So the weight that I've gained has gotten me healthier. I have very normal blood, counts and results and everything today. But it's the process that I went through that I realized our thoughts are so important that they dictate exactly where we've become. I didn't even realize, even over 300 pounds, that my weight had gotten in my way.
Wow.
And so it was the reinvention process that I had to take myself through, not just losing of the weight and subsequent things I've infused in my life, but it was the process that I went through that made me realize I could think differently, I could be differently, I could inspire. And that has been the biggest inspiration.
Well, I want to take a quick moment to show some proof of what you're talking about, because some of y'all might not believe this, but let me show you some footage here. Let's put this on the screen here for me. And I've got some pictures here now. This is you, a before and after on the left, which is just, I mean, remarkable, the transformation. And then on the right, here you are running. What is this? Is this a marathon of some sort?
Yeah, I was at the San Francisco Half Marathon there.
Wow, wow, what a transformation.
Thank you.
What a transformation. And so, as you can see, now, I know when you think about that transformation, and I know there's a lot of things. I know you've been, with David for a while. I know you were, heavily involved with Javita and the coffee, and that contributed to your health as well. But I've learned something about you that's even so much deeper than that, where you really start to think about a person's life, and I connect with you so much because you get into how people think and this possibility of reinvention. Can you say a little bit about that? I know you have a book coming up. Tell me what is going on about this passion you have around reinvention.
Well, when you look at those two pictures, to me, and they're both of me, I'm equally as proud of both of them. And I think that is the key to it. I was very proud of always who I was and some of my accomplishments. And certainly I'm the mother of 3 beautiful now adults. And so I had a lot of wonderful things going on in my life. However, it's the thoughts that got me there with no desire to stop at all. That's become the motivation for the rest of my life.
Powerful, yeah. So the thoughts that got you to that transformation has become this fuel that's pushing you forward now.
Yes, because what it did was it opened it up, and you already said that word. It opened it up to the possibilities of what can happen if you set your mind to something. I had literally a life or death sentence in front of me. I had a choice at that moment to recognize something is what it is. I've got to figure out a path to make a correction. And it's a course correction.
Absolutely.
It's basically what it
or
is.
Sometimes in business they call it a pivot, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so I love what you're saying because it resonates so much with the URCO message, and I'm so happy that you're becoming a part of this movement and going to be helping to change lives together with us, because we talk about that CEO moment, that moment in your life where something hits and you realize, I've got to take charge of the situation. I've got to make a decision. And it seems like you really had a CEO moment. I want to read something real quick that you wrote, and I'm going to give y'all a sneak peek. Now, she has a book coming out, very soon here, I think in August. And I want all of you to support her. The Reinvented Life.
The Reinvented Life.
And this is I got a sneak peek, and I got a quote here that I think is powerful that I want to share with you all. Personal justice is really nothing more than a reflection of how you are justly treating yourself. When you're treating yourself in a new way, whatever your ambition is, it is going to reflect again upon the community and the group and the linking of who you're together with. So you're showing a direct connection between how I treat and feel about myself to how I can impact others in the world. Tell me more about this quote.
Yeah, so what I came to realize, and again, I gained a lot more than I lost in this entire process.
Wow.
You know, the picture you showed up there on the right showed me about to cross the finish line of a San Francisco half marathon. I want you to realize, and the viewers and everyone to realize, I had never exercised a day in my life. 9 months before that half marathon. Never a day.
Never a day in your life?
Never a day in my life. A friend of mine encouraged me, after having lost already 120 pounds, to infuse fitness into my life, because I had lost all that weight. And my old thoughts and my old paradigm would have just kept me there. Oh, I look better now. I feel better now.
That's good enough,
But what I didn't realize is that you can operate on such a higher level. And that's how it fits into the concept of personal justice. Because when we are just to ourselves, when we are as absolutely fair to ourselves as we possibly can be, then we can show up in a much more significant way for the community. In today's world, it's all about collaboration. It's all about who we're with. That's why I am so incredibly proud to be part of this movement.
Thank you.
Because this is about people at the end of the day taking charge of their life. And in the book, The Reinvented Life, what I share with people is to not take on everything at one time. Take a step by step by step approach. There were times during that half marathon I actually had to stop. I did not think I could keep going. I had people just going by me and going by me, and I found a bench and I sat down, and I am the first to say I could not even do that continuously. But the key is that I finished. The key is that I made it across that finish line. And more than that, it was an inspiration to thousands of people, because people knew I wasn't prior an athlete. It was the changing of the thoughts that I have athletic ability. I didn't even know I could do the first step. My first time I walked 50 yards, I was winded. That's an analogy for the rest of my life. People taking charge, being the CEO of their own life, starts with how just they are to themselves. And recognizing there's gonna be fallbacks, there's gonna be setbacks.
Challenges,
Challenges that they have, but every time they've taken a little step further and they've grown. And that's the key. We just all grow.
Yeah, that is so beautiful, the way you put that all together and correlating that with your life. And I know we just have a few more minutes, but I really want to talk a few more hours. I really love what you're going over. And tell me a little bit more about why you feel passionate about being a part of the URCO movement. I'm so happy you're here. It seemed like you've already been here, right? I believe in the things that you're, teaching and promoting, and so we're so thankful to see you be a part of this, because you definitely are the CEO of your life, CEO of your health. So tell me, in some final thoughts, why do you feel the URCO movement is so important, and how do you feel about, linking up to get out there and help change lives through this message?
The main thing I love about it is it helps people recognize that the way they think what their thoughts are every day can help dictate the next steps of their lives.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And so everything that I have looked at with the CEO movement is about what are the opportunities, what are the possibilities, what are those positive pieces that I can infuse in my life. And it doesn't mean that there can't be difficult things going on in people's lives. I know in the last segment, David was talking about an incredibly difficult situation, which is that of people taking on their own lives and suicide, you know? And I think the important piece of that is to recognize that people are going to have challenges. They are going to have things, but it's the manner in which you think about those challenges and can overcome them one step at a time.
Beautiful.
What I love also is the resources. The resources and the content that you and your team have developed is incredible.
Thank you.
Because it opens up the possibility of educating oneself and learning and growing and thinking in positive ways to everyone. It's such an accessible movement that thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have access now to this kind of content.
Absolutely. Well, that was so well said. I mean, I just think that's a drop the mic moment because, you know, that's really what we want to see. We want to see more people like you, more people like me, more people like David that want to see people's lives change, but also we want our lives changed. We want to be changed, and it's through that change of, like what David said about example, by being an example of what the movement means in terms of how we manage our challenges, it just begins to spread everywhere. So I just want to thank you so much for being on this show. I'm so happy about some things we're going to do together. I can already see it's going to be explosive. So thank you so much for being on the show. And all of you out there, again, this is Pamela Chanel David. Her book is coming out really soon, so we're going to be, you know, looking out for that, The Reinvented Life. And you'll be seeing a lot more of her in the URCL movement. She's one of us, and we also going to be working together to see as many people's health improve as well as their overall mind and life. Any final goodbyes you want to say?
I would. I'd like to just thank everyone, first of all, and thank yourself for listening. And for people to remember that the more mindful you are, the more authentic you are, the more real you get with yourself first, it's going to help your life improve naturally. And that's a lesson I had to learn. Everything was always perfect with me, yet it wasn't always perfect.
Exactly.
And that is the key, is that be real and be authentic, and it inspires other people to be that way.
Perfect. You put a great period on this whole segment. We're going to go to a quick clip. When I come back, I got one more special. This is a show full of special surprises, so make sure you come back. We're going to have another short clip, and I'll see you soon.
We are starting a movement called You Are a CEO. You are a CEO. You run the business of you, and you can go as far as you want to go. Be the CEO of your future. Be the CEO of your destiny. Be the CEO of your career. Be the CEO of being an entrepreneur.
As of today, my past does not matter. I am officially stepping into my new position. I am powerful. I know what I have to do. I am smart. I am able. I refuse to look back. Anything that ever hurt me has now become my fuel. I will make no excuses. I am now a high achiever. I am now an executive. I am the CEO of me.
Hello, everyone. I'm back here in studio, and look who is here, Miss Samaya Heathcock, one of the URCL team members. I mean, you've been working with me in my companies for I don't know how long now, but you've been here a long time. And one thing that you always did back when we were partnering with Javita, you know, you managed a large network. I mean, hundreds of people that we were, you know, helping bring into that to help improve their health. And to see us full circle, reconnecting again with David and URCL where it's at, now Javita reinventing itself and us coming together to do something special. How do you feel? What is your viewpoint of what's actually happening right now?
I am beyond excited, and the timing couldn't be better. Just to hear David and how he rehearsed, how he hit a crossroads right at the same time we were reinventing. It was almost as if it was meant to be. So I've always believed in the product with Javita. I've had personal success with it, even health-wise, and the network that we work with experienced success. It was a very, very, very good product. So to your point about where we are there, it was just, you know, it's just like a no-brainer. But, you know, things change. You know, we have to go through things. And the same thing with URCO, we've evolved, and to see how it just all perfectly aligned right now, I'm excited to get the word out.
I know. I mean, you really said a mouthful when you walked through there, and I know you can really say that with passion because you were in every part of all the things that took place. I mean, a lot of the details. Sometime when I moved on and had to handle other things, you were in there in the meetings and the details and really, so I agree with you. It's just so exciting, and it seems like sometimes things have to happen in their time. And it just feels like it's the right time, it's the right environment, it's the right mood, the right energy to do something special. And so, you know, I want to ask you again, you know, you heard the segment where I was talking, we met with Pamela Chanel David, and she was talking about reinventing. And when you think about this area of health and then our overall life and mindset all coming together in a way that can help people, how do you feel about that? You know, just that type of impact we can have on the world.
So I think about when we first started this year, remember our first segment was about being the CEO of your health. So it dovetails right into where we are today in terms of now we're at an exciting point with URCO on the product and kind of bringing that to where it is. And now not only do we have the mindset, we actually have products to help aid that. It just is a perfect blend and a perfect marriage, if you will, of the two ideals, and the fact that Javita also has other, the Dollar Coffee Club has other causes that it's supporting, and it's supporting us with URCO. And the fact that, you know, you can't really focus on being the CEO until your body and your mind is all aligned. It's just, it's perfect. It's perfect.
And I think too, you know, one thing that I love about the potential relationship between the two efforts is that, you know, sometimes you have to collaborate to make a bigger impact. You know, some of the wonderful science and technology that's in the Javita, now known as the Dollar Coffee Club, you know, but we should talk about Garcinia cambogia, yerba mate, and all the science and infusion. We can't do that. We definitely not going to go, you know, do all of the things that they've done, the work they've put in. And then you think of things like URCO and Uplift, I mean, literally will cost you millions of dollars to put a technology like that together. So sometimes when people try to be separate and stay in their own little kingdom and don't come together, the world loses. But when we come together and we take the good that everyone brings and we find a way to collaborate, there's so much more impact we can have, and everyone can win. So how powerful do you think that is, just to see the power in collaboration?
I think with URCO, we've always, and even now, we always aid to make partnerships with brands and people and networks that actually believe in what we believe, and vice versa, and that we could cross-promote and cross-pollinate, if you will. And this is an example of that, and even some of the networks that we brought on recently, and we're still reaching out. It's URCO is larger than just URCO. It's really for the world. And that's the only way we're going to get out, is sharing the movement. And partnering with people that believe what we believe in, that there's synergy. So it's essential to spreading the message of this philosophy of URCO, and then we need products, we need tools to enable that type of lifestyle. So this is just an example of what we will continue to do.
So well said, Samaya, because URCO, we think everyone in the world should be a part of the movement, right? But in that movement, we want to lead you to other things that we feel benefit you. You know, it's not a competition. It's like, you know, seeing lives change. If I really care about you, I want you to have what's best for you, not because of whose name was on it, but what is best for you. So I'm just so excited about that. So we could talk for a while, Samaya, and I got to have you on this show more, even though you're kind of trying to hide and stuff and act like you're busy and stuff with the family and the kids and the husband and stuff. But it's such a pleasure to have you here. Now, I just want to ask, will you stay a few more seconds and close out the show with me?
I'd be happy to.
You really have no choice. But so anyway, I'm going to close out the show. And listen, I hope you've enjoyed this whole show. And I want to remind you, as you can see on the screen, you can go to urco.com, find out more about the movement. And we always want to remind you this is about live, learn, and earn. We live the life by living these principles that we talk about. And we learn every day new things because we always have to grow. We have to keep expanding. And you can only do what you know about. So it's important to learn. And then we have opportunities to earn. So we are sharing the revenue from this movement with the movement. Instead of giving it to other advertisers, we want to share everything with the movement so we can change as many lives as possible. Now, I've got an important announcement, Samaya. Our next show on August 5th is called The Challenge Is Here.
Oh.
Now, I don't know what to tell you. I want to jump up and down, but you know we've been working on this 30-day challenge for so long. People have been wondering, when I bring people into this, there's so much URCO have. Where do you start? We've got something now that's not going to change lives, but it's going to help you understand exactly what you need to know when you come into this movement. How excited are you about that upcoming big show?
I am very excited about that, and I will say it's worth the wait. We have the privilege of having a sneak peek into the challenge, and I will tell you it is worth the wait. So I'm excited for that show. You'll see.
You will see. So make sure you don't miss that show on August 5th. We have some big announcements, the challenge, and many more things that's going to allow us to just fully move forward, spreading this wonderful movement all across the world. So from now until then, get out there and let the whole world know that you are a CEO. We'll see you next week.